miracle worker. It's getting us to 8 minutes to the top of the hour, and I am live on Facebook at Hope FM Live. I'm also live on YouTube at Hope FM Live there. And I saw a message here. Unasema Karisa, this being part of the CU really helped you. Naitwa Victor Ndingiri. Unasema I was active as a chief usher and a member of the praise and worship team. And unasema you don't regret that decision. And we're about to break bread. I hope unanicheki vizuri. Unaweza niambia sauti kofiti ama volume niongeze. Just check on that as we continue. And we are talking about burdens. When the burden seems unbearable. And it's also good to start from a point of, even as we talk about burdens, also the Lord has a burden for us, like, his desire to set you free, his desire to see you sorted. He so wants this relationship that between us and him to work, that he sent his son to die on the cross for us. Like, ilimsumbua akasema hao watu wangu lazima mimi ni washughulikie, mimi nataka turudiane, and so he sent Jesus Christ to die for us. So when we talk about burdens and we look at our side, look at even the number of times God keeps taking you back. He keeps inviting you. Ako pale kama baba ya mwana mpotevu, anaangalianga ako tu zile za anatokea sangapi, so that he gets to usher you in. It is a burden. It is a burden. And even in the Old Testament, you get to read about even when the Israelites went astray, and when somebody interceded, and the Lord changed his mind even concerning distractions. So we start from there, and we also need to understand that this world we are in, it has its portion of burdens. And kama sisi watu ambao tuko duniani, we are not exempted from these things. So when mwezi mekaa kona ama mambo ijaenda vizuri, and maybe ilikuwa pia hivyo last month or the other month, mimi nataka kwambia ni vitu za hapa duniani. And the beautiful thing about these things is when we look unto Christ, then there is a hope. And for me, having hope even in dire situations is a game changer for me as a Christian young man. And everyday burdens, because we live in a fallen world. Because we live in a fallen world, there will always be trials we must bear. There comes in various form. Wengine ni financial problems, wengine ni health issues, family relationships, trouble at work, abuse, past regrets and sins, physical ailments, or even the death of loved ones. They may make us feel burdened beyond what we can, we can bear. And so when you are in this situation, nini tunafaa kuangalia? Number one, or number two. Number one, tunafaa tukubali kwamba pia hii burden ya kuturudisha kwa Mungu, God ameikari, na ni kama naikari every day, kwa sababu we get to invite you every day, he gets to give you another opportunity. Another truth is that everyday burdens are there. This is a fallen world. We are part of a fallen world. By the way, we are also a fallen people minus Christ. So these things come. But then there is something that Jesus Christ is offering. And I want to read Matthew chapter 11 verse 28. And the word of God says, "Come to me all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Come to me all. Ajapanga laini ati nitaanza na Mankaris, alafu nitakuja kwa huyu, nitaenda kwa huyu. Anasema, "Come to me all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And so there is an invitation for anybody who is heavy burdened this afternoon. This is an invitation kwa mtu wako burdened, beyond even understanding. How can I carry this burden? Nitafanya nini? Maybe it's even your kiddos going to universities we are talking about, na bado hakuna mado, inakusumbua kabisa. Uliapply kama hapo hivyo kwa the needy students, alafu amekuja hapo hivyo ameweka kwa level ya watu si needy, so you need to chip in even more. I want to tell you that there is an invitation for you to go to Christ, you who is weary and burdened, and he says, "I will give you rest." So let's start with the invitation here. And the invitation is, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That is Matthew 11:28. You know, the living Son of God, who is sovereign over everything and has all power, is willing and able to come to our assistance. Nothing is too difficult or heavy for him to bear. So since he was our sin bearer, he will certainly bear our lesser burdens once we are believers. Why am I saying our lesser burden? Because the wages of sin is death. You know, there is no burden like that of sin. Tulikuwa tuna kaput, tulikuwa tuna kufa. You know, he took a murderer, you know, a thief's penalty kusulubiwa, and sisi tungekuwa pale msalabani. So all these things that come later, we call them lesser burdens, and he's able to do that. Come in prayers, humble yourself before him by admitting your weaknesses, you know, telling the Lord what is weighing you down. Mungu, mimi niko na mauzito za roho, ni kwa sababu hii na hii. Give him your burdens. And then there's a command also. He says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Can you transfer that today? Can you take his yoke, which is easy? There's also an assurance, for I am gentle and humble in heart. You know, there is no hurt that is going to come when you go to him. He is so gentle. He's so humble. And the promise is you will find rest. And so this afternoon, I speak rest to anybody who is heavy, burdened beyond understanding. Hujui utaanzia wapi, utamalizia wapi, enda kwa Yesu. There's an invitation, there's an assurance, and there is a promise. The promise is you will find rest for your souls. And that is what your soul and my soul yearns for most of the time.